What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. Episode 69. Hey. Childish? I don't care.
A little bit.
I'm disappointed that neither of you enjoyed it more. We've come a long way. We now have thousands of viewers after last week. This is Ash, by the way, and this is Dan. I'm Matt. But you already know that now. Now we're internet famous after our marginally successful video. So the Game of the Week show is a weekly show that the three of us do, where we get together to talk about the latest news topics in the video game industry. We also then go through the game releases, the many game releases, before each picking our favourite game of the week. If you like video game news, content, games, let's plays, general conversations, you can find everything that we do on thegameinitiative.com. The link to that and social media is down below. So, the first topic on episode 69.
Yeah.
That's the last time I'll mention it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's so mature, so boring. Nintendo NX. We know it's coming.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know for certain, but it's very much anticipated to be coming next year. There's been some reports coming out from... firstly, we'll go through the one of the Wall Street Journal, which have reported about the fact that this could be a hybrid console, which I'm pretty sure I've called before in the past. Whether or not it's because I read something, but we're just saying that I called it for the sake of argument.
So this is the standalone platform, but also being able to use a handheld device.
Yeah, it's going to have some kind of portable element, whether it's essentially the actual power part of the console itself. It's going to be take away, or it's going to be like the tablet of like the.
It's going to be the next evolution of the Wii U, because the Wii U obviously, like you said, the tablet had its screen, but you had to be within a certain distance of. Yeah. The actual quote from the Wall Street Journal was that the exact shape of the NX hardware isn't yet clear, but people familiar with the development plans said Nintendo would likely include both a console and at least one mobile unit that could either be used in conjunction with the console or taken on the road for separate use. Yeah. They also said Nintendo would aim to put industry-leading chips in the NX device after criticism that the Wii U's capabilities didn't match those of competitors.
And this is going to make it, well, we're understanding it's going to make it more powerful than the PS4, Xbox One.
Yeah, so not only will you be able to... I don't know how it's necessarily going to work. I don't imagine that the chips are going to be in the portable element. So
I would doubt.
It's obviously it's going to have its own chip in it. So maybe, obviously there might be certain games you might not be able to. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm sure there are people far cleverer than us that are working it out. But
all in all, it's great news for Nintendo. I think. I know that we all hoped that they would try and compete with Sony and Microsoft, and maybe this is the start of something.
Yeah, I was like
the Nintendo comeback.
Yeah, because what I've read is the reason they've gone to try and make it as powerful or even more powerful to compete with those two is to try and bring back the third-party developers to the Nintendo console.
Yeah.
Which would then make it able to compete in that realm of being the one console that people use. Because at the moment, it's very much the other console. In that kind of thing. Just for Nintendo stuff.
Unfortunately, the reality is, though, with regard to the hardware, it's all about units out there. The third party will always support on which consoles have the most number of units out there, so therefore the biggest market in order to sell the most games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, which means at the moment Nintendo has kind of shot itself in the foot in regards to the last two consoles, which have basically only supported Nintendo games for the most part.
Yeah,
that might be the odd.
There are plenty of third party, but not in the same vein of what we get on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, so it's pretty much anyone who made the early jump to next gen has already done, and so with obviously the Xbox One or the PS4, and therefore you don't have that same number of people who've been hanging on, kind of going, no, I'll get one at some point, and then it's like waiting for the Nintendo to enter the fray.
The Wii U actually came out. The Wii U is actually supposed to be the console the same generation as the PS4 and Xbox One. It came out a year earlier, but because we had the Wii 360 PS3, the Wii U is this generation. But Nintendo have kind of almost fallen into like their own mini areas.
I know what you mean in terms of when they release it, it tends to be completely sort of out of sync with Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
But I do think also that by in terms of hybrid, another way you could view this sort of term hybrid is they're going to be still focusing on the Nintendo games. Clearly, there's a big market for Nintendo. Okay, maybe not, in the Western world over here in Europe and the US, but certainly I think Asia. Obviously, there is a massive Nintendo following, as we've discussed before.
Yeah.
So keeping that following, but then trying to incorporate Europe and the US by competing with Microsoft and Sony in terms of the AAA titles and having those games as well. So almost acting as a hybrid to Nintendo and your mainstream AAA games.
Yeah,
Nintendo's very much, kind of the Japan and all that are all very focused on their mobile gaming. The 3DS is the undisputed king of handheld gaming. Like, as much as I want the Vita to win, it's not going to ever beat the 3DS. And some people actually do say, I think the power is important. There was actually another quote from an unnamed publisher that basically said, one software demo included with the kit crunches so many polygons that it's currently impossible to run at 60 frames per second using a current gen Intel GPU and nearly top-of-the-line graphics card. So basically what it's saying is it's doing stuff that's more powerful than is possible with the top hardware right now. So if this is true, and this is what actually comes to the mass market, it's going to be a super machine. Because lots of people actually say that the PS4, Xbox One are not that powerful compared to... They're already starting to feel, when you compare it to like a PC, and I know that always happens.
Yeah.
But normally at the time, they're normally like top of the line, and they weren't quite that this time around. So there is an opportunity for Nintendo, but I think they've really got to incentivize the third parties to come back to them. They can't just be like, oh, we've got this nice new hardware now, so you can make games. I think they need to offer them more, whether it's money, like a subsidy, or they need to do something, because it's a catch-22. The only way you're going to get more people buying the console is if there's more games, but the only way you're going to get more games is if more people have bought the console.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We shall see.
We shall see. I'm sure there's still a long way to go and lots of news between now and then.
Let's move on to some news on
games.
EA games. Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront. A lot of Star Wars fans at this table. Well, three of us. Yeah. It's not really a lot, but it's 100% of the table.
1, 2, 3.
Does Batman like Star Wars?
Batman hates Star Wars. He thinks Han Solo is a bitch. But anyway, EA have announced the season pass for Battlefront this week. It's expected now. Season passes, they go hand in hand with AAA titles.
Especially ones with big multiplayer aspects.
Even more so. But there was a time where they were $20, £15. And then we had maybe a $30, £20. And then we had Batman's one, which was $40, £30. Now we have a $50, £40 season pass. Which is almost the price of an entire game.
It is.
Again.
Yeah.
So, okay. So they're going to release loads of new content, like almost like doubling up on the game and making it this big super thing. Maybe. They haven't told us anything. All they've said is that there will be 4 updates, and they teased new maps by, I think the quote was something about saying that you'll travel to galaxies far, far away or something. So... what do you think of the pricing on this?
It's too much.
It's ridiculous.
Especially if you're going to charge a lot for your season pass, then you need to be very upfront about what's coming in that season.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't got it completed, you need to have a list of this is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
And so on, because you need the consumer to know what they're going to get out of this. Because it's very easy for someone to say, okay, I'll season pass, buy it, and I'll get it for £10. Because that's not a massive amount at the end of the day. And it's like, and what comes.
Yeah.
£40 is like a completely different game, which you've essentially... but it's what you've sacrificed being able to buy a second game in order to get all the potential DLC for a game that you haven't even been told what it's going to be.
That's the biggest problem, I think.
It would be like me going into a game shop and saying, here's £40, just pick a game and give me any game you choose. You'd just be like, you just don't know what you're getting.
It's like
you could end up with anything.
Yeah, it's like The Witcher 3. They've said out of their 2 big DLCs that they're doing, it's essentially going to be about 30 hours worth of gameplay. They've already said that one of them's pretty much about to land. One
came this week. I didn't include it in the list because we have enough games.
So that's already there. And you've got another one coming. and it's like, you know that's happening. You're happy to spend the money on that because of the amount of time you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
And they've been upfront. They said from the very start, here's a whole load of free stuff to begin with, and these 2 big DLCs will hit when they hit.
I think the biggest problem, I don't necessarily say, I'm not saying £40 is too much money, period. They might release content that is worth the £40.
Yeah,
You
quite
just
possibly.
need to know that it's worth it.
The Batman season pass is one where people are starting to feel a little bit ripped off on, because it was twice as expensive as normal, and the packs that have been coming out so far, from what I understand, have been underwhelming. So it's simple. The season pass will always be there. It never disappears. So if they're not going to tell you what's in the season pass, don't buy it now. Wait, see what the 4 packs come out are.
Yeah.
If you want all 4, then you buy the season pass and get them all.
Exactly. I can't understand anybody who would want to do this, who would want to buy a season pass on a game that is just
Without knowing what's in it.
vague. Yeah, there's nothing there.
And
Weird, very weird.
I don't even understand why companies do it. They're obviously trying to get guaranteed extra money, but it's like it's like you said, it's the equivalent of buying a game before it's being finished.
Yeah. It would just be like, I'll just take a punt on this and just hope for the best. There's 40 quid.
Like for a
It's a
game
lot,
like
mate.
Battlefront, where it's basically just multiplayer online stuff, is the initial game should be cheaper because you're just getting the bare bones stuff that they're clearly intending on building on. So you are buying access to a game at a lower price, and then if you're going to go buy all the DLC on top of that, it's not as big a hit to the gamer because you've provided them the full content when they bought the bloody thing in the first place.
Yeah, just don't buy it. It's not really a difficult thing. It's just vote with your wallet. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the game. Full stop. As simple as that, really. They did announce 3 new game modes. There was Cargo, which is basically capture the flag. A Droid Run, which is 6v6, where you have to just kind of capture 3 droids. So that kind of sounds like a territory sort of like territory games, but you capture a droid. And one that did sound interesting was Hero Hunt, which is a 7v1 mode where you're basically either the rebels or the allies, and you take on a main hero or villain character. So basically, it sounds like you be
Darth Vader
or Skywalker, and you take on and whoever survives longest because when you kill the hero / villain, you then become him.
Yeah.
So whoever survives the longest wins. So that sounds quite cool.
Yeah.
Still not going to buy it. We'll move on to more game news now, and we've got Friday the 13th. The game has been announced. So October, the month of Halloween. So getting in the mood for it. This is not going to be coming till next October, so pretty long way out at the moment. It's going to be a third-person multiplayer game. It's going to be 7v1 also, but in this instance, you have the 1 being Jason, and the other 7 kind of being the camp counselors or whatever. And the objective of the game will basically be to survive the night at Camp Crystal Lake, or if you're Jason, kill everyone at Camp Crystal Lake.
So that's basically like the rounds put on a timer.
Yeah.
And you survive till.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. It will be a certain mode. Will be. I assume it's going to be accelerated. I don't think it will be an 8-hour game per round.
That's what I mean. It's put on a timer.
Although that would be an awesome stealth game. You just have to hide in a place for literally 2 hours. By awesome, I mean really boring. But yeah, what did you guys think of this announcement? We have a lot of licensed games which aren't very good. We get some that are good. I actually quite like the sound of this one.
I like the sound of this. I do. I don't think it's for me personally, but I'm intrigued. I think we do need more horror genre games. I think that there do need to be more of them. There aren't that many that incorporate the multiplayer aspect, so that is something different. So I think it's nice to see somebody doing something a bit different. It's just probably, whilst I love my horror games, I'm not a big multiplayer fan.
My worry is it's going to go the way of Evolve. When you look at this, because it's a one on many.
Yeah,
it's like, are you going to end up with like one person just sat there not really being able to do much or communicate in the same way, or
yeah, I mean, like
it's
a very
is it going to create an isolated versus many feel to it, or is it actually going to be very interactive where everyone is still able to talk? So even if you are Jason, you're still able to properly talk with everyone else.
Why would you want to though? You're busy killing them, unless you want to taunt them and be like, well, you can have part. Like I suppose, like
no, it's different with like
I don't know how
amongst your friends compared to just randoms. That's what I'm talking about.
See, I don't like talking to people online anyway, so it wouldn't bother me.
It's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
don't know you. I don't care who you are. But I'm just going to make small
You could be sat there in your underpants.
or even less.
or even less.
While you're being yelled at by a 10-year-old Spanish kid.
Oh, yeah.
I think the only problem with it is the fact that there is only one game mode is how stale it will get. I think not necessarily the isolation of the talking, but the whether or not there's going to be enough there.
It's also when they're saying like objective to survive. Does that mean you can fight back, or you just have to run around and hope you don't get seen?
Well, if it's like anything like the films, then if you fight back, you will lose because Jason's super strong and a badass.
Yeah,
so like you just hide. It's about survival. It's like the Alien Isolation game.
Yeah,
you don't fight the alien.
You don't fight
because you get destroyed.
Yeah,
you just survive.
Yeah, but my point is, does that then just create a situation where someone just goes, runs, crouches down behind a rock for like the 15-minute round and doesn't do anything?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, I think it'd be more exciting being Jason.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll be able to set things like traps. Even if you can't take him on hand to hand, there'll be like things you can set.
Yeah. We've got to remember as well, I mean, this is a Kickstarter program as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
We have to maybe question the...
It's not a AAA game.
Yeah. We've got to question, I think, the level of detail, the content, and the quality because of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some very good games that have come off Kickstarter. But
there are, I'm not.
But yeah, don't expect AAA kind of next level
Alien sort of style.
Yeah, they're raising 700,000. They've got to I think 460. I checked this morning, so they're doing well. But yeah, it's gonna be a digital only game sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But if it's £15 and it comes out, then I might check it out.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see some more.
Let's move on to some more horror stuff.
Horror stuff, yeah.
AAA this time, Capcom, the creators of Resident Evil. They've been pretty busy. Last week we were told that we need to stay tuned for details of a new core Resident Evil game. So basically, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know Ash will be very excited for that. He's a big fan of the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
But the news I want to focus on today is that there's been confirmation this week that they are working on a VR project in the Resident Evil universe, and that the team is basically working towards what they consider must-play games. So not just, a gimmicky thing, must-play.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this, and we've touched on VR many times before, but I think the horror genre would actually be one of the best genres.
It would.
To the VR.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Provided...
It makes sense because it's the ones you want to be the most immersed in, I think.
If you were really immersed in that with like the sounds and it would be amazing. I think it would be really, really good.
Basically, it would probably come with a warning of clean pants needed nearby sort of thing.
Make sure you're sitting on a towel.
Yeah. Or just in a paddling pool.
That's the kind of game that you do wear without pants.
Yeah.
But no, I would be. I'm very interested to see this. Apparently, they did something at. I should have written it down. It was either E3 or Gamescom. They did like one of these project things. It was like called Project Kitchen and VR, and apparently that was received really, really well. So it's tech that they've already worked on. They're familiar with.
I think
but obviously VR, it's just hopefully it means PlayStation VR and not Oculus.
Well,
I would imagine
both.
They can use both.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. But it's both. But that's the sort of name that you need to come out to make Project VR work.
You're right.
Yeah, an established franchise, not just these rigs and stuff. I mean, I'm not dissing rigs, but no one's ever heard of rigs before. It's not the name where you're like, I have to buy that game. But Resident Evil, like you said,
I think it would. I think it would be beneficial to the Resident Evil franchise as well as the new VR hardware as well. I think something like that, you're right, would be. I think it would catapult both.
I was just while we're on VR, we're gonna go a little bit off topic. I was listening to a podcast this week, and we talked last week about No Man's Sky, the subject that brought us internet fame.
Yay!
Someone was talking about, imagine if No Man's Sky released. So we would all be wrong after last week. It wouldn't actually release this year. It will release in March, and it was a launch title for PlayStation VR, and you were the astronaut or the space explorer.
Yeah.
See something like that.
That's another one.
That would be a system. I was just
really
thinking. I never even thought about it before. But it's like that would be a really good game to have in VR.
Yeah, it would. I think anything that has a lot of depth would be a great game. It's probably not. I mean, we say that, but then I also think that first-person shooters would be good as well. So
yeah, anything first-person, obviously.
I think
that's basically it. If there's any form of exploration is involved in what you're doing, it's in first person, then it makes sense.
It does.
Doesn't make sense for anything third person.
It wouldn't be. It would just be a bit of a waste of time.
No, that's my point.
Unless you were literally sitting on their shoulder. Yeah. But yeah, no, they're all going to be first-person experiences. Yeah. I imagine.
I hope so.
I really hope so. Racing games as well will be another good one. I think.
Because that will allow you to actually look at the level while the car's still give you more reaction as a driver.
Yeah, being able to check your mirrors before you crash into the car in front to slow you down.
This is the way of online racing.
Yeah.
We don't need the brake, we just need the car in front of us. While we're talking about first person explorations, one of my more anticipated games got announced or got a release date this week, so I thought I'd include it as we round up our news.
Yeah.
Campo Santo, the developer, they are making a game called Firewatch, and it is being confirmed for February 9th, 2016. If anyone's not familiar with what Firewatch is, basically you are an individual called Henry, who is a watchtower lookout over the forests of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of forest fires, hence Firewatch.
Basically they use Park Ranger or whatever.
Is that the official title, is it, I guess?
They have many titles for things like that, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
Watchtower loner.
Sort of a national park sort of job. Yeah.
So it's basically set in the 80s. It's an exploration game, and there's a mystery around the game because there were these two girls that have gone missing, and you were the last person to have seen them. And basically you
killed them.
He didn't kill them. He might have killed them.
It's Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
It's Camp Crystal Lake.
You do see them out in a lake, actually, to be fair. If you watch some early gameplay stuff is out there. But yeah, the part of the game is the exploration about kind of the mystery of the forest, and also your relationship with a woman called Delilah, who is also a Watchtower Park Ranger loner person. She's in another watchtower, and so the only communication you ever have with her is through a walkie-talkie. But it looks a very beautiful game, if you've seen the trailer. And that E3 trailer, where it ends, I should have showed you guys before, but basically you're out looking, and you found this cable that's been cut.
So I saw.
And she's like, what? You're already down there? He's like, yeah. Well, if you're there, who's in the tower?
Yeah, I saw that.
Hands to the tower.
I know. I think one thing I would say about this is the script looks good. I think the script looks very good. There's a bit of comedy in there. I think there's a bit of maybe romance in there. There's mystery. There's suspense, thriller.
Yeah.
It's got everything you'd want in there. And I think that is what is gonna give this game a lot of appeal.
I'm very excited for it. And this is another proof to any of the naysayers or doubts out there, but it doesn't have to be a AAA game to be good. This is an indie game, but a lot of people are very excited, and everything I've seen so far, it excites me for it.
Yeah, same.
It looks like Rapture, but everybody's gone to Rapture, but maybe a little bit more excited. There's a little bit more stuff to do. Not that Rapture was necessarily boring, but that was very much just a world that you wandered around in, whereas this is actually, there's maybe a few more things to interact with and stuff.
Yeah. And
there's more dialogue because you're not the only person left. So yeah,
it does look good. I think I like the sort of suspense Bit of a twist there, bit of mystery, thriller. Yeah, I like that.
Tower. I want to know who's in there.
Yeah.
Ever since I've watched it, it's like. But February, man. February is getting a busy month.
Quickly filling up.
What we got? We've got Firewatch. We've got Deus Ex. We've got Mirror's Edge. We've got Battleborn. There was something else that was recently announced
There
as well.
was something recent.
I can't remember now. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 big titles in there.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend's birthday's in February as well. Maybe I can buy her some video games for her birthday. Happy birthday, here's this. I don't want it. Oh, well, I'll play it then, it's fine. Right. On to the video games for this week. There are a lot. About 15 in total, I think. So we're not going to have infinite discussions. Well, we would never have an infinite discussion, but you know, we'll just gloss over some of them.
I think so.
Yes.
But let's start at the top with probably what will be the biggest selling game of this week is Minecraft Story Mode Episode 1. PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360, PC, iOS, Android, probably Linux as well.
Why not?
Everything that basically you can get a Telltale game on, pen and paper, I don't know.
Fax machine.
So yeah, are either of you at all interested in this game? I know you don't like Telltale. I know you don't really like Minecraft, so I probably know the answer.
No.
Yeah. It's not one I'm going to buy. I think it will do well.
Yeah, well,
I think
it will do
because of
It's Minecraft,
what the
isn't
subject is and who it's
Yeah.
by, and that's
Yeah.
absolutely fine. And
Yeah.
power to it.
I have no preference.
I still really want to get into Minecraft, but I just don't have the time. It's one of those things that you think, oh yeah, let's just jump in, build some shit, and it's easy. But well, it's not though. There's just so much more to it.
Yeah, it's like I've got it
I
on
see
the
my
PC.
son playing it, and I'm like, there's a lot more to this than just building some blocks and planting some TNT blocks. There's a lot more to it.
Did you see that guy who just bought a $4.5 million house in Hollywood? He's like, he plays Minecraft on YouTube. That's his job. And through playing Minecraft and the amount of people that have watched it, he
Yes.
bought like this multi-million thing like in Beverly Hills or something. So if you want motivation to go and play Minecraft, there you go. Although, like us with this show, we're probably about 5 years too late.
Yes,
I think. So, yes.
So that's there. I'd imagine you can also pick up the season pass as well if you want to.
it's £90. You don't know what's coming.
You do know what's coming.
More
no,
Minecraft.
you don't know how many more episodes.
It's 5 episodes. That's been confirmed. It is confirmed.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So 4 more episodes after this one. We've got Wasteland 2 on the PS4 and Xbox One. This one down looked quite interesting. You said, what did it remind you of? Okay.
I think it was XCOM was the
Little
thing
bit.
that I've heard of as a PC game and so on, in terms of like you've got to build your squad. You
Yeah.
want to have different like skills and so on within there.
It looked really interesting. It was like a post-apocalyptic world. So
Standard
immediately,
these days.
my mind went to Fallout.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's lots of building a squad, having a good balance between whether it's like a shooter, like a marine kind of guy, or like a
medic or a
medic.
scientist.
Yeah, all this different stuff that you need to basically survive in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked quite cool.
What I liked out of that was like coming from the trailer was they mentioned things like the NPCs that you interact with will react differently to you depending on like your looks. So if you come across as a squad of like badass Marines, they're more likely to be scared of you.
And respect you.
Well, they might shoot back at you, kind of thing. So, like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know whether they're going to respect you or like fear you and try and defend themselves. It's like whether you've got low health is another one. So they might think, oh, you're weak, pounce on you, or they might try and help you, kind of thing. It's like all
That's
of
quite
that.
cool.
So it's like
So it's
a lot
very
of-
reactive
a lot of-
to the,
yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's good.
We've got World Rally Championship 5, which is the FIA's official World Rally Championship game for PS4 and Xbox One. It's a rally game. Not really huge much more to say. If you're a racing fan, you like rally games, then probably one worth checking out.
Yeah, we've had Formula One, and I don't think that was quite met the hype, did it? I think the
There was a
F1
lot of
game this
modes
year,
missing,
so
yeah.
it'd be nice to see the rally, the WRC game, maybe
I used to
surpassing that.
love like Colin McRae rally and
Yeah.
stuff back in the day. Like
Well,
before it became dirt.
I just think Rally is a lot more challenging, isn't it, as a driving game than just a Formula 1 or a track game. It's a
lot more reactive.
Well, yeah, you've got it's point-to-point racing, so you don't get used. Yeah, you've got the different surfaces. A good rally game, you have different handling based on the different surfaces you go across and terrains, and when it's a point-to-point, you can't get familiar with like a track. If you're doing like a 20-lap race, you just get used to the corners and.
Yeah, whereas you do actually find sometimes on a track race that maybe if you come off the racing line on something, you can actually shave a couple of seconds, provided you do it right.
Yeah, there's run-off areas.
But you learn those tweaks that can mean you can go faster as you go along. Whereas, like you're saying, on a rally, you've got that one chance at that one corner.
Unless you restart the whole thing every time.
Yeah. I'll probably keep an eye on this and just see how the reviews go, and it might be one that I consider.
Yeah. Then we've got Laser Life for the Xbox One. This one it looks kind of like a twin stick shooter, but it's like a music rhythm based game.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of music in there. You can see the sort of pulsating lights.
That's such a good word. Lights.
Yeah,
it's a really good word. But yeah, that one it looks interesting, again, from the trailer. We've got a lot of these types of games though, so if it's one, if you're interested in this type of game, maybe do a bit of research and see if this is going to be the best one out there, because we get so many of them now.
There are a lot.
We've got, celebrating the 30th anniversary, Back to the Future, the game. This was a Telltale game, originally on PC, but it's now coming to consoles, PS4, Xbox One and 360. From what I've heard from people that have played it in the past, I've never played it, it's not that good, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Telltale didn't really kind of hit the ground running until they did Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They had this before, they had the Jurassic Park games, and apparently neither of them are that good. But if you're a massive Back to the Future fan, you're probably going to buy it because you're a nerd.
Yeah.
I love Back to the Future, but I'm not going to buy it.
That's true.
We've then got Goosebumps, the game, which is a point-and-click adventure game gauged around the world of Goosebumps. I didn't even realise Goosebumps still existed.
Yeah.
They're still relevant in the world. I remember the books as a kid, but and there was a TV show as well, wasn't there?
There was, and I want to say I feel like they're remaking the TV show. Or...
Yeah, it might be.
Well, maybe that's why this is coming out.
It's so old now; it's become retro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I've seen it in the news elsewise, apart from this game, at some point recently, and I can't think what for.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll move on anyway. Plenty more to go through. We've got the Talos Principle for the PS4, which looks kind of like you're some sort of AI individual, and it's first-person puzzle game. Looks similar to Numa that we've talked about before, and there was another puzzle game a couple of weeks ago that we had as well. I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, this one seems quite futuristic, isn't it? It's more sort of AI or.
The trailer very much gives it almost like a Garden of Eden aspect.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can go anywhere you want, but don't go in the tower.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming means instantly you're going in the tower.
But you have to get through the puzzles to find them, probably.
Yeah.
We've then got Once Upon a Light on the PS4, which looks like quite a clever little puzzle platform game.
Yeah.
Your individual basically either doesn't like or cannot go into the light, so you have to navigate through the world whilst remaining in the shadows.
What is it, like photophobic or something?
Photophobic is what they describe it as on their website.
Yeah.
I never realised that was a thing, but there we go. I actually quite like the little twist on that though.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
We've then got Crimson Land on the Xbox One. Ash, do you know why it's called Crimson Land?
I think because the land turns crimson as you kill people.
With the blood of your victims. Blood. It's a top-down twin-stick shooter, very violent, gory,
sort of
blood everywhere.
Hotline Miami.
Sort of, yeah. We were trying to remember before there was another twin-stick, another shooter game like this that was like ridiculously over the top with its gore and violence, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Too many games to remember.
Too many games.
Yeah.
We then have Rock and Racing Offroad DX on the Xbox One. This just looks like Micro Machines. There's not really much else to say.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't inspire me as a big racing fan. There are plenty.
I think
racing
the
games.
only redeeming factor I said was the fact that you could have 8 people on the one console. So it's got the couch co-op or whatever you want to.
That's a big couch.
Well, you know what I mean. It's got that built into it.
Yeah,
which not everything.
I know what
does.
you mean.
So that's it.
We then got Bedlam the game, which looks very interesting. Dan, there's a first-person shooter with a slight twist.
Yes.
The twist being that you kind of go through, what do they say, 3 decades of video games?
Yeah, so you're just like, I don't know how quickly it changes around on you, but you're sort of like jumping around from levels inspired from all sorts of different games. From we saw like
Call of Duty,
Call of
Pac-Man,
Duty,
Space
Pac-Man.
Invaders, Doom.
Yeah,
Like,
there are some
all sorts of
fantasy ones in there, which I'm assuming is Skyrim or something like
Probably,
that.
yeah.
It's a nice concept.
Yeah, but there's some really weird, in the trailer there's a really weird like Scottish kid doing a voiceover that sounds really bad. Almost like there was interference on the recording of the gameplay.
Yeah, like someone was like heckling out of the back room.
I don't know. So turn that off and then you'll be fine.
Mute it. It looks great.
We then have Dragon Quest Heroes on the PS4, which is a hack and slash game, like monsters to kill. Yeah, it was a Japanese title, now come to the Western world. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are fan of the series. We are not one of them.
Yeah.
Then 2 more. Prismatic Solid for the PS4, which is a extremely colourful game.
Yeah, I really don't know what to make of this game.
Yeah,
But it's
again,
out there.
it looks similar in like a twin stick movement type of game.
Yeah.
But very colourful. Not going to really say anything else on it. You can see the overlay and see whether or not you're interested in it. And the last one is Battle Islands on the Xbox One, which is a port over from mobile devices. What one did you say it reminds you of?
It was like Age of Empires,
Age of
or something
Empires,
like that. where
Heroes,
you-
those sorts of things.
yeah, you've got to build yourself up and probably like protect yourself from attack, but also go and attack your enemy
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It's set in World War II
Yeah.
era, so it's free to play if you want to download it. But I'm sure if you want to actually do anything in the game, you have to give them £1 million or something.
Of course.
Exact amount, slightly overrated. But there we go. So lots of games. No big AAAs is what you, or AAAs you would call it this week. I think that's why so many of these games have come out. We just said before, it's like it's the 1 week in October where there's no big game dropping. So everyone dropped everything else.
Yes.
If you had to pick one, what would you go with, Ash?
There's actually 2 that I really like the look of. The
wasn't the question I asked, but
Yeah,
okay.
I know. The Talos Principle.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by this and really want to play it. Just play it a bit more if you like, or maybe even just see some reviews and gameplay. But also Once Upon Light.
Yeah.
I like the look of Once Upon Light.
Good choices. Dan?
Wasteland 2. I think it's got like the mechanics that I enjoy because it's kind of reminds me of the things of like Mass Effect in some ways. You're supposed to pick your squad that's got a good variation of things that will help you through.
Yeah.
So like, and that changes the interactions that you get depending on who you have. So I like those sort of games.
I would agree. I think I would go with that one as well. I mean, I did think of saying Crimson Land just because I like blooding people, but it's a very shallow game.
Yeah.
Whereas Wasteland 2 looks like it's got a lot of depth there. Something quite interesting. Probably personally not one I'm going to pick up and play because Fallout 4 is literally right around the corner. I have no spare gaming time till Fallout 4 anyway. But if I was going to buy one, that would be the one I would lean towards this week.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Fine. Once Upon a Light does very much intrigue me as well. And I don't need the Talos Principle because I've already got Numa.
Okay.
So that's it. We survived the giant list.
There was a big list.
So that's it for this week. I hope you've all enjoyed watching. If you've stayed to the end. If you haven't, then, well,
Sorry.
doesn't really matter because you're not watching this bit. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the NX coming up. Is it going to be the next big console? Is it going to have amazing kind of portability and console home gaming? What do you think of Resident Evil in VR? Is that the right game to have as a VR game? We all think so. And which of those many games do you like this week?
And also, who do they think's in the tower?
Who is in the tower? If anyone at all. Is the guy just maybe going insane?
Maybe he just left his jacket there on the hook, and it looks like someone's standing there.
Well, we already... Maybe. But from the gameplay, there's definitely some... You can tell there's some weird things going on already, but I can't wait for that anyway.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Dan, Ash, thank you as always.
Yes, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.